Friends of Sway in the Morning, citizens of Sway in the Morning. So, out of the 12 years we've been doing the Sway in the Morning show, yes, 12. A lot of y'all grew up watching this show. Out of the 12 years of the Sway in the Morning show, I could probably count Tracy and I on one hand the number of times Tracy and I have been out together. It doesn't happen much. It's a rare occasion, maybe twice, that we've missed the show. So on Tuesday, I believe, Sway decided, since Tracy G and I were out, citizens, to have what he wants to call a lion's den.
Damn, we starting with the hate?
We're starting off. Who said any? We're starting off with the truth, Gail.
Yes.
We're starting off with the truth. My grandmother would say, tell the truth and shame the devil.
Yes.
I'm just going to tell the truth. So because Tracy and I were not here, Sway decided to have all male guests and an all-male entourage and all men behind the scenes and call the show that day The Lion's Den.
Blah.
And all this testosterone and all this lying, L-Y-I-N-G, was going on the show. DB, who participated in it.
Exaggeration.
So now it is our distinguished opportunity, Tracy G and I, to bring some respect, maturity,
Oh, man.
talent, love,
Wow.
and just the absolute truth to the Sway in the Morning show via female.
Woo.
Dare I say the meow power hour? Dare I say it?
Power.
No liars. We got a girl here who is absolutely phenomenal. We have been rooting for her. We love her. We've been watching her. And on that note, Tracy G, do the honors.
Well, this ain't nothing new, citizens. Every single week, you will hear me in the studio being like, y'all, did you see Snowfall? Did you see Snowfall? The cinematography, the freaking storyline, the acting, what are we doing? I am proud to have been hanging off the nuts of Snowfall for all of these seasons. And we've had Damson Idris, who plays Franklin exceptionally, of course.
Yes.
We had Amin Joseph about a month ago.
We had John
plays
Singleton, who
Yes.
brought Damson.
Yep.
Exactly. John
R.I.P.
Singleton.
to John.
Yep.
Yeah, rest in power, who is behind this masterpiece. But for today's Meow Pow, as Billy talk, I'm so excited because the character Wanda is so transformational.
Thank you.
And she's such a necessary presence on Snowfall. And so we have such an electric actress who plays Wanda. Citizens, welcome her to the show, Gail Bean, baby!
GB, baby!
Big Bean, the biggest.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
We are so happy.
What the fuck was that?
Torch,
Torch,
you
I'm
such
dying.
a hater.
I was just adding some sound effects for y'all.
You know what? I hate
Yo.
you right
The lion continue. The lion continue.
It's the meow hour.
Power.
I'm gonna let y'all go.
Welcome to the show.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here. And thank you for walking in, because this is a thing sometimes y'all don't see off camera, with such beautiful and positive energy.
Absolutely.
Thank you. You came in just hugging and with love, and we appreciate that.
I love y'all. Like, I love New York. Let me just say that. I love New York. Like, I'm from Atlanta. I'm from Stone Mountain. That's my heart.
Yeah.
I told somebody last night, I said, Atlanta is my number one, but New York is my 1.1.
Wow.
I love New York. Everything about y'all is just amazing.
New York is your side, man?
New York is like my,
Now, New York, you're the thruple.
yeah. I can't make New York the side. I got to make
Oh.
because I might see New York first. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Well, all right then.
Really?
Yeah.
What made you fall in love with New York? Because I can imagine growing up, you saw it through the lens possibly of maybe music videos and different, and 106 and Park and all that other kind of stuff. So what was it about New York that attracted you?
It just felt like authentic. It felt genuine. And I love that, you know? So you hear the people say, oh, everybody in New York is mean and New York is rough. I don't really see that. Like, I mean, I feel like they're straight up.
Word.
Like, and if you can't take it real, then something wrong with you.
There's something that's wrong with you.
So then, because Snowfall takes place in LA, and we know about your love for Atlanta, know about your love for New York, but what was your relationship like with Los Angeles, and how did the show kind of influence that?
So I lived in LA from 2013 to 2020. I moved back to Atlanta during pandemic.
Yeah.
I've always thought LA was a beautiful place. Like, the weather was beautiful. The scenery is very beautiful. There's opportunity there.
Right.
It's not somewhere where I would want to live or raise a family. And shout out to everybody who's done it and doing it,
For real, sis.
because it ain't for everybody.
Right.
I felt like LA gave me, I'm grateful for it because it always have given me what I wanted for my career.
Yes.
Like, put me in a position to win to where I could gain work from anywhere. But it's just not somewhere where I wanted to stay. I didn't feel, and a lot of people who are real LAers tell me the people that I've interacted with or encountered weren't from LA, but I don't know that. Because, people move places for school or they've been there for 20 years and they're like, nah, I'm from here now. It's
Right.
like, but you're not. That's not who raised you, and that's not your core essence. When you get in tight positions or you're at a struggle or something, who you are really comes out.
Word.
So I just encountered a lot of people in New York, in LA, that weren't, I didn't like their energy.
Got you.
It gives opportunists, it gives, when you meet people, it's, well, what do you do?
Right.
Yep.
How
why
can
are
you help me?
How can you help me? Why are you here? Why should I even
Right.
acknowledge you?
Clout
And I'm
chasing.
used to just, you pass somebody, you speak. If we're in eye distance, you speak.
Yeah.
And if not, cool. But that energy, to me, it was a turnoff. But I stayed there, stayed down, and did what I had to do. But so I'm always gonna love New York. LA, for what it did for me
In terms of opportunity.
In terms of opportunity, like I said, I'm always gonna love the scenery, the weather. It's been raining lately, so I ain't really a fan of that.
Right.
But it's definitely, every place has its pros and cons.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for it. It's just not on the list above New York.
The
Yeah.
late great John
I agree.
Singleton was mentioned. Me too. The late great John Singleton was mentioned in the intro here, and I wonder, what would have been. I think we all do. But for while he was here, and what was your audition process like for Snowfall? Did you have to audition in front of John? Were you nervous? Because you mentioned about you not ever being nervous for anything until you was about to walk in here. What was that whole process like?
So Snowfall, John Singleton has been on my radar forever. Like, anybody who's around and who has eyes knows his greatness, right?
Absolutely.
So I've always
Yes.
wanted to work with him. He came to my acting class in Atlanta in 2012.
What?
Yeah. My teacher, Lilania Abner, is like, that was her sensei. So, yeah. So she was teaching us, and he came, he surprised, he talked to the students, sat down with us, the entire class. So when I got to LA in 2013, of course, she was so grateful to allow us to reach out to him on our behalf, and I was able to go to his class because he taught a class still at USC.
Wow.
He taught one class. I was able to go sit in for free. He would say anytime we wanted, we could come. And then when I heard about Snowfall, it was about 2015. I reached out to my reps, was like, hey, John Singleton has a new show coming out, Snowfall. Can you please see if there are any roles in it for me that I can audition for? They were like, oh, it's already cast and the parts are too small or too old for you, and so there's nothing. So then when it was getting recast, I reached out again and was like, hey, it's getting recast now, so can we see if there's anything I could go in for? They were like, it's not the time, like there's nothing for you on this. I said, okay,
Wow.
cool. And fast forward to 2017, I was flying out to Chicago. I used to never leave LA because I would say, okay, I don't want to miss my opportunity.
Yeah.
Wouldn't let my phone die, wouldn't leave. So I flew to Chicago to shoot a web series with my friend Leo Gilbert. His dad is Peter Gilbert. He produced like Hoop Dreams. He produced my first film that went to the film festivals, Unexpected. So like,
Wow.
fire. Leo is a director. He said, can you get on this web series? I shoot out to Chicago. The moment I land, in my inbox is a audition notice to come in for Snowfall.
Of course. So convenient.
How convenient.
Oh my gosh. So what'd you do?
Right.
I asked my reps, I was like, I never asked to move stuff. I was like, could we please reschedule this audition? they hit me back and was like, yeah, the casting directors was like, no, but they'll take a tape. Because I said, I'll be back December 11th. I capped and was like, I left town for my birthday.
I'm dying.
Yeah.
Self-care.
Yeah, they were like, well, casting said no, but they'll take a self-tape.
Okay.
So the cinematographer at the time said he would put me on tape, but it was a super long day. At the end of the day, he was like, can we do it tomorrow? I was like, nah, I'm ready. It's due. Like, I got to do it tonight. So Leo was like, no worries. I'll use his camera and tape you. My cast member read with me. We sent the tape. They hit back like the very next day and was like, casting loved you. They wanted to know if you'll still be back December 11th. I was like, yes. Fast forward.
Okay.
We go back December 11th. I have a chemistry test. So chemistry test is like when you're in the room with someone who's already on the show.
Right.
And now you're auditioning. They're trying to see what the chemistry is. And when I walked in that room, there was like 13 people. John Singleton was one of them. Dub C, I think, might have been one of them. 13 people there to see the audition. The space we had to work with was probably from the end of that table to that table. Like no space to work with. But I was like, all right, here goes nothing. We got to do it.
Wow. How was your nerves? Like how
I wasn't nervous. I assessed the room. I assessed the situation, and I'm like, okay, cool. All right, so I can't go too far, but they not here. Like, it's either barbecue or mildew at this point. Like, you gonna get the role or you ain't.
Oh, you ain't.
What you want to do, because you've been asking about this now for years.
All I heard you say was 2013.
Come on.
And then it takes years and it takes time. In the right moment, we were talking about God and alignment and everything this morning and the people. And just because they on your team don't necessarily mean they on your side.
Facts.
And trying to bring everybody with you and all these different things. And that road, that 4-year road that you had just to get to that space.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just so ordained and destined for you, and you are crushing it.
Thank you.
Gail Bean is here from
Thank
Snowfall. If
you.
you want to talk to her, 888-742-3345. We're coming back with her. Listen, man, this is beautiful. Gail Bean is here from Snowfall.
Yay.
Series finale airing Wednesday, April 19th. If you want to talk to her,
6 seasons.
ain't that crazy? God bless you, man. That's wow.
God is good.
Man, extend that applause. 6 seasons is big. It's big. We was
Yeah.
talking about that work you got to put in. You gotta put in that work. I also want to remind people about taking classes. It's something that I talk about a lot here. Tracy G can attest to that. You know, it's one thing to take classes to be dope and develop your craft and all of that, and to learn from people who can teach you, who's willing to teach and share. But also, you make connections in classes. You find yourself a lot of times in classes. You challenge yourself in classes. It is really supposed to be a safe space.
Correct.
And just think, like, you took this class, and lo and behold, John Singleton walks in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And God saw 4 years later, 5 years later down the line, you guys would be working together. You know, you just got up that day to go to class.
That's a good point, because you wouldn't expect that level of opportunity to arrive in class. And so some people are really impatient in class because they're like, nah. I need to get on the outside of this, because that's where John Singleton is.
Not knowing that the work that you're doing in the class is what's going to give you the success for when you're outside of the class. That's
all
what you're
tethered.
going to reach back to. Yeah.
The biggest mistake people can make sometimes is sitting in classrooms believing that they know everything already, closing themselves up, not willing to learn. Oh, that teacher don't know nothing. That professor don't. You may not even be there for that teacher or professor. You don't know what's being aligned for you just by showing up every day.
Right.
That's the thing. You don't know who's coming through as a guest speaker that day,
Yeah.
as someone just to sit in the back and watch. I used to ask my agent all the time, where you going? And she used to go to different things and just sit in the back and watch. She found a lot of people.
wow.
They didn't know. They didn't know she was sitting in there. You know,
never know.
you never know who's watching, but know that somebody is always watching.
You got to be on your A game.
You got to be on your A game at all times. Kassandra's on the line. She wants to talk to you, Gail Bean. How you doing, Cassandra?
Hey, Cass.
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Doing great. How's your day today?
Doing great. Going great.
Good. What's your question for Gail?
So my question for Gail is, I have the same last name as you, and it has been hell growing up with that last name, and I just want to know how you handled everything.
Okay, I hate to disappoint you, sis. I'm
Beanie
so
man of the
sorry.
girls, them sugar.
I love you.
Gail Bean.
Right? And now you can tell people, you know what I'm saying? Now you could lean into your last name. But my legal last name is Mitchell.
Okay.
Bean is something, honestly, that was something that some friends in college gave me. And we took it and ran with it. And I changed. Not many people know that Mitchell isn't my last name. I mean, Mitchell is my last name. And I hashtag Mitchells Are Born Winners. My production company is Mitchells Are Born Winners. I went for Bean because my dad is a coach in the NFL. I didn't want to kind of like be under his shadow. But yeah, Bean was something that my friends, they loved it. They was like, pass me that Bean. Everything was Bean. Mm-hmm. So when I came around, it was like Gail Bean. And then they said, change your name on Facebook. You know how social media go.
Yeah.
If it's on social, it's real.
Kashana, I'm so sorry.
That's all right. Okay.
But lean into it.
You still represent. I'm
Yes.
a kid.
Yeah,
Yes.
tell them, look, we cousins. Beamer, I take that. What's up, cuz?
What up, cuz?
And beans are good for you, your digestive tract.
Yeah, man. Get those beans in your body, Kashana. We love you. You a citizen, girl.
I'm Sway in the morning.
What team did your dad coach with?
He currently coaches for Cleveland Browns.
Really? Wow.
Stump Mitchell, running back coach. Great man. Great man.
Shout out to Pops,
Yep,
man.
what
For
a great
sure, for
daughter.
sure, for sure. That's amazing. Yo, greatness running the family. Let's go. Aunt, you on the line? Say what's up to Gail.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey,
Good
Anthony,
morning.
you better get this energy together. Calling up here sounding like your dog is tied up outside and dying. What you doing? Don't be laughing. Perk up.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Here we go.
Reset.
What up?
It's a pleasure to speak to you. It's an honor to speak to you. I'm a huge fan of your work.
Thank you.
My question is, what was your roughest experience during the filming of Snowfall, and what was your most favorite experience during the filming process?
It's a pleasure to hear from you. And my roughest experience filming Snowfall, honestly, was trying to figure out who Wanda was gonna be once she's recovered. Like who this new person is after crack, right? And I think that's something that the Black community does. We're still trying to figure out who we are and find ourselves and get our bearings post the crack epidemic still, even in 2023. So that for me was the roughest thing, to try to recreate this character without recreating her, but knowing that some of her foundation was already destroyed from crack, but still having essences to where people aren't like, who the hell? We don't even know this new girl. My most favorite experience, I ain't gonna lie. I didn't even film this day. It was Isaiah's birthday. That was this year, season 6. I got 2 because I got with John too.
Yes.
Filming this season, Isaiah's birthday, everybody was just on set, like having a good time, partying, celebrating him. I'm not gonna lie, we was drinking. I didn't have no scenes that day. Eamon was like, who plays Uncle Jerome, RP. Jerome. Eamon was like, I just gotta die, so I ain't got no lines.
I'm dying. And Isaiah plays Leon.
Isaiah plays Leon. Shout out to him. He's a real one. And Damson, he really had to carry the weight that day.
Yeah.
But we was up there partying, having a good time. We had our people who was there from like last show, like Joisha. She was with us when she got out. John gave her a job.
Wow.
She's now over there at All American. But she came through. Like everybody was just coming through, celebrating Isaiah, pulling up, having a good time. We had the music blasting.
Yeah.
So that was probably one of my most funnest times. And then one of my most funnest times with John is just sitting, and I remember it was when we were in the cookhouse and I was now with Man Boy them crew. So with Melvin Gregg and everybody, Calvin. And we were trying to figure out whether or not the director wanted me to call Franklin Saint, when I'm so used to calling him, Franklin. Like people who don't know him may call him like Saint and stuff.
Right.
But people who is in their family calls him Franklin. It's like even if you fall out with your family, you're not gonna change their name.
Yeah.
So I was trying to tell the director that, and me and John was on the same page. But that wasn't John's episode. Like, he's a creator, but he wasn't directing, but he would still come on set every day. And just like kicking it with him and him having my back on that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this man what he want. I'm going to give him a take what he want, because I always give people what they ask for. But all the rest of the episodes, I'm going to say Saint, because that's what we call him.
Right.
I mean, I'm going to say Franklin,
Franklin.
because that's what the family call him. It's like the family may call you by your government. Other people they don't know you like that. So that was a really good day, because I sat down with John and talked about like my character. He was telling me about him and Taraji, they were going to do a Teal project. Like, we just talked about so much. And you sit with John, you see how excited he is, and how he like still a kid in a candy store with it. It's nice to see people who've been doing it for centuries still have that excitement.
Yeah.
So that was my favorite day.
Beautiful, man. Thank you so much for your call. We appreciate you, all right?
Thank you. Welcome back, Tracy. It's good to hear you.
Oh, I appreciate
see,
you,
he
love.
perked up, man. All right, good for you. Look, G-Man's on the line calling in from New York. G, what up?
GG.
What up, family? Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.
up, G?
Well, what's your question for Gail? You got that good energy.
Yeah, well, the first thing I got to say is the show is awesome. Everybody's awesome. It's sad that next week is the season finale, series finale. I'm a recovering drug addict myself, and I just celebrated 30 years clean, right?
Wow, G. 3-0.
So,
Wow.
30 years, yes. March 5th.
March 5th.
God bless.
So what I got to say is, Gail, she played the shit out of this part as a drug addict. My question is, how the hell did you do so good? And did you do research on this thing or what? Because you played it to the T, girl.
G, thank you so much. Congratulations on your recovery.
Thank you.
I'm black. I got family that, unfortunately, were victims of the crack epidemic and just drugs in general. So I pulled from my family, but I researched everything. I looked at J is for Junkie. It's a Greenmount Park documentary. I looked at Soft White Underbelly. And then I volunteer on Wednesdays at Skid Row in LA. But also I ask questions. So like, shout out to D-Ray. At one point, he gave me a nugget that was in one of my scenes. He was like, nah, my mama used to be on drugs. Like, so it's certain things that she do, she hit it and then it's like she be hearing a song or like, so I listen to people as well. I take what it is and I say, I keep what works and I throw out what don't.
Yeah.
But I definitely did my research. But thank you so much, man. I appreciate
it. You were phenomenal, man.
Thank you.
Do you have any other projects coming up?
I'm on P Valley.
Yes, she is.
Oh, you are?
I am. I came in
then
season
I gotta
2.
go check. I gotta go check
Come
it
on,
out.
you better shout out Patrick Ian Polk and all of them over
I
there.
love Patrick Ian Polk. Shout out to Katori Hall, Ian Olympia.
Yeah, Brandy,
Nico,
everybody.
Brandy Evans, all of them. Jay Fonz, amazing people. Yeah, I'm on P Valley. We start filming this summer. We'll be back season 3, 2024. So, and then you never know what this spinoff gonna do.
Spinoff was happening.
That part.
Yeah, I might have a little spinoff coming on. Snowfall was LA in the 80s.
Right.
The spinoff would be LA in the 90s. And the 90s is my bag. So,
yes.
Stick around.
All right, family, have a blessed day.
You too, family. Tracy G?
Yeah. Well, DB actually took a question that was up top, but I had another one going that pertained to Wanda because I believe that there are some folks who have addictions, but everyone has to deal with attachments. And at some point, you have to let go. So, care to share an attachment that you had to let go of that maybe was difficult, but you realized how much good was on the other side?
So, I used to say I have 2 vices, right? Boys and alcohol.
Listen, relatable.
Listen, I've been through my fair share.
Dope album title though.
Yeah. Boys and alcohol. Very much. It's giving Mary J. I've been through my fair share of things, and at one point in time, I never said I was an alcoholic, but I loved liquor, right? And when I didn't drink, I could smell it. I could know what you had in your. You could walk in the room. You could have drunk, and I could smell it out your pores when I wasn't drinking, right? And it's like, even like right now, I'm not drinking because when I ask God and ancestors for things, I try to come with bearing gifts.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm not gonna drink until we hear word on this spinoff. And somebody was like, that could take 2 years. I was like, I'm asking for something, So. Right now, I'm not drinking.
On, Gail.
Yo, you.
Come on, Gail.
Did you listen to the show this morning before you got here?
Nah.
Alignment.
Tell me.
Continue.
Alignment.
But go ahead. Continue with your story.
So I'm asking for something, right? So last night they was all drinking while we was watching the show, and I was like, "Damn, that shit smells so good." I check in my hotel. They're like, "So yeah, these are 2 drink chips, and then you also get $25 a day credit at the bar for just staying here." And I'm like, "Really, God? I've been gifted so much alcohol right now. I ain't touched it." So for me, it's just about like doing what I have to do to for the ask.
You answered
The other vice?
The other vice, guys. Yeah. I mean, I like boys. I like men. So, and I ain't like no hoe like them, but it's like I be falling in love and shit. Like I'm a hopeless romantic.
Right, heart on your sleeve.
Yeah.
Like this is my first time living with a dude. We moved in within a month.
Really?
Yeah, but I'm going on year 3.
Come on,
I'm
girl.
so,
You making it work.
And I think I'm the wife. I believe I'm the wife.
Speak it into existence.
Yeah, speak it into existence. Listen, I hope your daddy not listening. We got Dr. G
Damn.
on the line because he got a story about your daddy.
Dr. G. What
Good
up?
morning. Good morning.
Good
Can y'all
morning.
hear
How
me?
you doing? What's your
Doing very
comment?
well.
Hey,
I wanted to just say how much I appreciate the legacy of Mr. Stump Mitchell.
Thank you.
When I was a young man, Edwardsville, Illinois, at this time, the St. Louis Cardinals, I believe at that time, your father's family lived in what we call Ginger Creek, close to Edwardsville. When he moved out, he had a lot of goods and food. And our family, very poor at the time, was a recipient of that food and those goods.
Wow.
And so I appreciate that memory, and I appreciate you being willing to be vulnerable and say your real name. But I want to let you know that because of things like that, our family has been able to thrive. I'm a lawyer and educator now, and I just want to tell you how much I appreciate you. I appreciate his legacy, and I appreciate the vibe and the spirit of your family. It meant a lot to us when we were young men, and now we are all, the 7 of us, upwardly mobile, working young men. So I just wanted to let you know how much I appreciate it.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. I love my parents.
Tremendous.
Yes, man.
Like that's why I'm very vocal about it now. You know, growing up black, we think like don't accept help or, you know, make it on your own or the merit of your work. But now I'm like, nah. We each one teach one, you know what I'm saying? Like we a village, like help each other. So now that's why I'm very like, nah, that's my daddy. And if it give me anything, cool. But if not, that man's a great man, and I love him.
Period.
Yeah.
Like he the only person I've known a man that loved me my whole life. You know what I'm saying? But that makes me happy to hear that story.
That's so beautiful.
And
Thank
congratulations to you and all your family, all
For
7
real.
of y'all.
That's crazy. Many
God
blessings,
is good.
Dr. G.
Yes.
God is good, and thank you for calling and blessing us. You a citizen.
That's Sway in the morning.
DB, you wanted to jump in?
Yeah, before we leave here today, I need your input on an important topic that we were discussing before you came in here.
Okay. Yeah.
When the weather changes to summer and it gets warmer and everybody's breaking out the cool outfits in Atlanta, what is the song that signifies that change in weather that you really got to step outside?
Ooh, in Atlanta.
Changing weather?
Yes.
Yup.
What would be the song?
That springtime anthem, baby.
Like that.
See, okay, for me, like, we outside, the song is like Nuck If You Buck. I grew up talking about that. That's like, we outside.
We outside.
Like,
Trying to fight?
But, and then you also got the T.I. 24s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how my... yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, we gonna let that rock. Listen, Gail, thank you so much. We
Thank
love you,
you.
sis. You
So
gonna be
much
here.
fun.
We are rooting for you, left,
real.
right, up, down, sideways, and everything in
Thank you.
between.
I love
God
y'all.
bless you. Gotta come back. Where can people reach you?
Gail Bean, Gail__ Bean. That's Instagram. But you type in Gail Bean anywhere, you'll find me.
You gonna pop right up.
I'm going to pop up. And if I see you at me, I'm going to respond.